this is kind of a weird vlog where I definitely just overthought a topic and got to the point where I thought maybe I'm kind of being deep, but probably in reality not. But at the same time, like, I'm gonna vlog about it anyway, throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. If not, whatever. But age and aging in general are kind of weird things when you think about them. Like, I mean, obviously, chronologically, on paper, yes, we are a certain age. I mean, if you didn't somehow know when exactly you were born, that's one thing, but most of us know the exact date we were born, even if we're not thrilled about how long ago that was. We know how old we are. So that part, yeah, you can't really change that part, even if, you lie about your age. But apart from the chronological on paper aspect of it, I feel like it's weird since parts of age and our perception of it is like a social construct almost. Like, who decided at what point that once you hit such and such an age, behavior like X isn't accepted anymore, or as of such and such an age, you're not supposed to like dot 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 anymore. Like, who decided that and why? Like, that is so dumb, and I've never really subscribed to it. Obviously, I tend to act way younger than I actually am, but that is another story for another day. But it's just odd to me, and part of it I feel like it's relative and it's fluid in how our own perception of our own age even can change. Like, beyond, yes, we know how old we are, but we feel a certain age. And that feeling of being a certain age can shift depending on various factors or various things you're around or watching or doing. You can feel older, you can feel younger, you can feel both almost simultaneously sometimes. That's a really weird one, but I've experienced it. And it's just so odd. And I honestly thought for years that aging wouldn't bother me because I just viewed age as a number. A pointless number that just didn't mean much, really. I mean, granted, I was not typical, probably not normal that I was very dangerously chasing much older men when I was like 14, so yeah, I know, stranger danger, should not have been doing that, but that was the thing. But, I mean, literally always, all the guys I've ever liked have been at least old enough to be my dad. Some of them have been old enough to be my grandpa. I have issues, but I don't see it that way, because I don't see it as anything more than just happens to be a number. Who gives a shit? I don't go younger, though. I only go older. It's a weird-ass fucking thing. But, like, it never mattered. It seemed like, if two people are compatible, who the fuck cares what the number on the piece of paper is? It's a meeting of the minds. You link up. Why does anything else matter? It doesn't. So, I mean, that's my take on it. But that's just, again, one facet of my overthinking all this. That's actually not really where my focus was with it, but that just also occurred to me too, as being an odd thing that never thought myself getting older would bother me, because it never bothered me when people around me were older. Like, even people who weren't romantic interests that were just like friends have generally been older, like at least my age, or older for the most part. There's some exceptions to those rules, but most part, I just gravitate towards older people because I feel like they know more about life and have more life experiences, and I like hearing about them. But again, that's me personally, so if that never bothered me when it's somebody else, why exactly does it bother me when I think about my own age? Like, I feel like I had a quarter-life crisis when I hit 25 and felt like, oh my god, I'm a quarter of the way to 1,000, or not to 1,000, oh no, to 100. I'm so old, oh my god, I'm gonna die. Like, I am shitting you not. I had a complete meltdown the day I turned 25. I was over it by the next day, but for real, like, I go between these two polarities of, on one hand, I feel so freaking ancient at the realization that, like, most things from my childhood are now being regarded as retro. I'm like, the 80s weren't that long ago, dude. That was not that long ago. But now I think about it, it's like, the 70s are considered retro. That's only 10 years later. Yeah, and even certain 90s things are getting considered as retro now. So I'm like, oh god, I am old. Oh no. But, yeah, like, flip-flops between feeling older than dirt in some ways, but also at the same time not feeling anywhere near my actual chronological age. Like, on some levels, I still feel like a tiny little kid who needs to be taken care of most of the time. In other ways, I very much feel like I never mentally surpassed being a teenager. Like, if you looked around my room, it very much looks like a teenager's bedroom, and probably, honestly, always will. Doesn't bother me, I like it that way, but yeah, it's like just further proof that mentally I never got past that into being mentally an adult. I never reached that milestone, apparently. I'm sure there's some psychological reason for that, I don't know what it is. My sister would probably be better primed to answer that since she's going to college to become a psychologist, so maybe someday she'll be able to answer that mystery for me. But, anyway, it's just this odd thing where, like, even the way in which I'm a fan of things more closely aligns with being, like, a teenager than being a grown-ass adult, because most people, like, they hit adulthood, they start having real lives, and, they kind of leave most of the fangirling to the teenagers and move on. I never did. Frankly, I don't think I ever will, and I don't really want to either. I'm quite happy with the way that I fangirl over things, because it means everything to me, so whatever. That's where my sense of identity lies, is in the things that I'm a fangirl over. But, it's just this odd thing where people almost look down on you after a certain age for still being such a zealous fan of things after a certain age. It's like, why do you guys think there should be a cutoff age? Like, okay, once you're over that age, what exactly are you supposed to do with your time if you can't be a fangirl over things? Like, okay, I have no interest in getting married or having children, so what exactly is wrong with my fangirling again? Oh yeah, nothing. So, there's that. But, that's just one facet of this. It's very weird, because it's like, I'm capable of being a responsible adult when it comes to, like, caring for children. Like, I watch my sister's kids all the time. Obviously, I'm able to handle that. It's not a problem. But, like, when the shit hits the fan, what do? I find myself searching for an adult. And then I remember, wait, I am an adult. I'm older than my sister who these kids belong to. Shit. I need an adultier adult, honestly. But, yeah, that. So, it's like, I don't know why there's this mental block there, but there always has been, and probably always will be. I don't know. It doesn't feel that problematic to me. It's a weird quirk thing. I'm just not sure if I'm the only one who experiences that, or if other people do. I would actually really like to know, especially amongst older viewers, if any of you have experienced anything like this, or am I out on my own weird little limb here? I probably am, honestly, but yeah, I don't know, maybe part of it is that I never got married, I never had kids, and I never moved out. Those are probably 3 big milestones. I mean, I've read all sorts of psychology reports on why millennials and 20 and 30-somethings just mentally aren't growing up, so that tells me that it's not just me, but on the other hand, yeah, a lot of these factors actually do play into it, so whatever. But I guess there is some comfort knowing it's not just me, but on the other hand, it's like, wow, my generation is a bunch of fuck-ups, aren't we? Sorry, but it seems we kind of are, and part of it seems to be kind of being victims of the timing of when we came of age. That was when the economy crashed, so it was like, good luck getting your foot in the door anywhere. Like, I've had to create my own careers, because there was no way to get hired anywhere without a college education, and without any prior job experience. I literally had to make my own jobs because nowhere else wanted me. And I've done okay with that, but it's one of those things where it's like, you can't really compare it to eras past where, sure, they had very secure jobs with steady incomes and had enough money to, like, purchase a house by such and such an age. It doesn't really apply the same way in the same ages anymore as it used to. And it sucks on one hand. On the other, I mean, you know, if I'm being completely honest, I probably wasn't going to move out anyway, so I mean, that one's a moot point, but just as a bigger picture, beyond just me, it's kind of a sucky thing that the economy had to crash at the timing that it did, because it makes me wonder, how different would my life potentially be if that hadn't have been a thing around the age when I started trying to job hunt? I might be in a very different position right now if that had not been a thing. I have no idea how different my life would be. Honestly, I probably never would have gotten past a retail job, but I mean, it would have been a real job, so there's that side of it. But on the other hand, I would have probably put a bullet through my head by now for being miserable and working a real job. That is the trade-off, is that I don't work a traditional job, but I'm a lot more satisfied with what I do, even if it is less pay, so there's that. But back to the topic of the perception of age, it's just so weird, because there was a perfect example of this yesterday, and how it almost flipped from one polarity to the other in how I felt about my own perception of my age in an instant. My nephew's second birthday party was yesterday, and I had never been over to my brother's wife's in-laws' house. Or, no, his in-laws' house, just his wife's parents' house. Her in-laws would be my parents' house. Duh. But, I had never been there because they moved since last time they held a thing. But, they have, like, a room set up for their grandkids, and it's actually really cool. It's got bunk beds, it's got toys in there, and Sammy, like, grabbed my arm and, like, yanked me in there to, like, show me all the things, and there was, like, this little, like, kitchen space play set thing, little kitchen center, not one of the play school ones, or Fisher Price, I mean, that's, like, made out of plastic. No, this was, like old school, wooden, like, high quality, durable stuff that's, like, probably, in reality, older than I am, but I kid you not, this was identical to the one that was in my kindergarten classroom when I was little, and I just had this moment of, I remember that. Oh my gosh. Can I touch it? Can I play with it? Please? Like, can I just look at all the things that's out there? I'm, like, looking at all the toys and all the little, like, fake food things, and remembering how many of these, like, identical things I had when I was little. Just like, oh my gosh, and just reminiscing, and kind of almost feeling like a little kid myself in that moment, but then in, like, an instant just realized, oh my gosh, that was a long, long time ago. Wow, I am old. That these would probably fetch good money on eBay now because they're so old. Holy crap. But, yeah, that was just like, in an instant, like, flipped from one to the other, from feeling very immature to, oh my god, I'm a dinosaur. Like, in less than a minute's time. But, I was sitting there looking at all the little Lego creations she'd made of Star Wars things that she had up on a shelf, and was like, oh my god, they're so cool. I remember when I used to use Legos all the time, and just, again, had that moment of feeling like a little kid for about a second, and then, oh my god, I'm older than dirt. That was so long ago. Being an adult sucks. But it's just so weird. And for as much as I feel like maybe part of why I never mentally became an adult is just by decisions, life decisions I've made of things I abstained from. You know, when it comes to one of my sisters, the one with all the kids, she's almost as much mentally a child as I am. Like, we actually even had a conversation recently where that was not the topic at hand. We were talking about how weird it is that my bathroom in this house is the only one that doesn't have a bathtub. It has a shower, but no bathtub. And she was like, yeah, it's so weird, but you know what? Someday you'll have a house where you've got, like, an Arthur bathtub, and you'll have one of those computer desks across it, and you'll sit there with your top hat on, and you'll be having a great old time. It'll be awesome. I was like, dude, that sounds amazing. I want all of that. She's like, yeah, and you can have, like, bath bombs. Actually, I should buy you some bath bombs right now. I'm like, didn't we just say how weird it is I don't have a bathtub? She's like, you don't need a bathtub, you just get them wet and kicking around like a soccer ball in the shower. And I'm like, what? And she's like, what do you mean, what? And I was like, are you speaking from experience? She's like, maybe. I was like, okay. And she's just like, yeah, being an overgrown child is awesome. And I was like, honestly, yeah, it kind of is, but I can't say as I've ever tried that one. I kind of want to now, though. But it's like, we are almost on, like, the same mental level, which is probably kind of sad, since we're the two eldest out of my siblings, and yet we're probably the most immature. Timmy, on the other hand, practically came out of the womb like an adult instantly from infancy. Like, she was able to take care of herself since she was like 3. She would like make food, she could do her own laundry, she could do makeup like that still exceeds what most people can do as an adult. It's like, the fuck? Nobody even taught you how to do these things. How do you just instinctively know how to do these things? Like, she was just always mentally an adult. Kind of like, I have always mentally been way younger than I am at any given age. Doesn't matter what age, I've always been younger up here than I actually am. My brother, I thought, was kind of the same way as me and Nikki were, though. Until he had his daughter. And it was like he literally grew up overnight. Because he had been just as much like a gamer geek, totally immature. Like, he was very, very similar to me, probably more so than any of my siblings, till the day she was born, because she almost died the day she was born. She was really, really sick. And it was very touch and go for like the first month and a half of her life. But, yeah, literally, the day she was born, like when he came home just to get a couple hours of sleep, he was like a changed person, and I thought it was just the circumstances he was in a mood. No, he literally grew up overnight and never really regressed back. I was like, holy shit. Like, part of me's like, if that's what having a kid does to you, fuck that, I want no part of it, although I didn't want any anyway, but it kind of freaked me out. It's like, what the hell? What just happened? What, like, who are you and where is my brother? But, wow, okay. Yep, my sister's got 5. She never had that happen. Her husband never had that happen. They're both kind of like overgrown children, which is what makes hanging around them so much fun, honestly. But, yeah, that. But, honestly, at some point in the future, we'll probably all end up under the same roof. But, that's beside the point. But it's just so weird how for different people, it just seems like their perception of their own age and maturity levels are so vastly different from each other. So, there's your food for thought, and what I'd like you to comment about down below if you feel so inclined is, like, what is your own perception of your age? Do you feel older than you are? Do you feel younger than you are? Are you some combo of both like I am, depending on the circumstances? Let me know, as well as anything else you feel like leaving in the comments, because I don't know, it strikes me as like a really interesting thing. I'm very intrigued by it, because I feel like everyone's answer is probably going to be different on this, especially since I know it can't just be me who's weird like this, but I think it's just one of those human things where everyone's different with that. And there's nothing wrong with any answer to this, I don't think. But, yeah, I'm just really curious about it. So, if you feel like sharing with me, please do. If you don't want to, no obligation, you do not have to. But yeah, so that's about all I have to say on this one. So, as usual, if you like this video, click the like button. If you're not already and you like me, click subscribe. As I said before, leave comments down below, and I will be back later with a review and possibly one other video later today. It might be another vlog, but, because this one I actually meant to post yesterday, but after my, not my cousin, my nephew's birthday party, it was time for all my Sunday night shows, and then I was tired, so it just didn't happen. So, you get 2 vlogs today, probably, unless I flake out. So, anyway, but you will definitely get a review, if nothing else. So, anyway, till next time, bye.